Welcome to another exercise for the workbook Statistics. This time I'm going to focus on the covariance and correlation as measures of association, and in particular in this case on the covariance. Our task is for 5 students. The final grade for their A levels and for their final university degree is collected in the table below. Now we see here we have the 2 variables and the 5 observations each. Our task: calculate the covariance to quantify the strength of the relation and also, the direction of the relation. So let's simply start with this. I'm going to copy the table as is, and then I'm going to expand this slightly. First, I'm going to add here a new row where I'm going to multiply each x and y value. At this point, it doesn't matter which I call x, which I call y. So I'm just going to multiply all of these values. So 1.2 times 3.1, 2.1 times 2.1, and so forth. And then for each of the 3 values, I'm going to sum up these values, and I'm going to divide them by the number of observations this sums, giving me the average for all 3 variables. Well, I could skip the part for the sum here as well. And I also could skip this part. So if you can do this with your calculator on your own, you can simply input all the stuff, add all of this up, divide the end result by 5, giving you this value. Because what we're going to need are just those 3 values over here, those 3 averages. Then we can calculate the covariance by simply taking the average of x times y, which is just the last value here, the 3.694. I'm going to subtract the average of x times the average of y. So 1.74 times 2.2, giving us as an end result minus 0.134. Well, the minus tells us it's a negative relation. Those who perform good in school usually perform worse in university, or vice versa. And the task was also to quantify the strength of the relation. And that's the big disadvantage of the covariance, because this could take values between minus and plus infinity. If we get here 0.134, question is this large or small? Well, it's very close to 0, so we can imagine this is really a very, very weak relation. But then again, we do not actually have a really good base of comparison. And that's why usually if you talk about the strength of a relation, you're not going to use the covariance, but you use the correlation coefficient, which just scales the covariance to an interval from -1 to +1, which makes it much easier to interpret how strong the relation actually is. Here with the covariance, we can mainly focus on the direction. And that's then already everything there is to this exercise. Hope you enjoyed it. Say goodbye and see you next time.